Alright, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to pick up some calculus here. We're going to be talking about derivatives and inverse functions. So we're just asked to evaluate the derivative of this inverse function of f at the indicated value. So they want f prime of x prime of 2, and we're just simply given y is equal to the cube root of x squared plus 4. So the first thing that we need to do is isolate x, so let's begin by working on that. So to start, we'll begin by cubing both sides. That's obviously the first thing that we're going to do. And what cubing both sides does is it gets rid of the cube root for us here. So we'll just have y cubed is equal to x squared plus 4. The next thing that we need to do is subtract 4 from both sides, and if we do that, we'll get y cubed minus 4 is equal to x squared. And then we'll take the square root of both sides, and that gives us x is equal to the square root of y cubed minus 4. Alright, so that's the first thing that we needed to do. Now we need the derivative. Okay, so we need to take the derivative basically with respect to y in this particular case for the square root of y cubed minus 4. So to do that, all we do is use the chain rule. And let me just remind you of the chain rule. So there's two ways to write it. So this is the first way it's written. F prime times g of x times, or f prime g of x times g prime of x basically says that we take the derivative of the outside function, leave the inside alone, multiply by the derivative of the inside. Another way it's written is this way: dy over dx is equal to dy over du times du over dx. Okay, so all we have to do is use the chain rule. So we know that the derivative of the square root of u would be 1 over 2 multiplied by the square root of u. And then the chain rule says that we take the derivative of the inside, in this particular case with respect to y, so we would take the derivative of y cubed minus 4, which would be 3y squared. And so remember, the chain rule says, well, I'll have 1 over 2, I put the y cubed minus 4 back in there, and then I'll multiply by the derivative of the inside, which in this case is 3y squared, thus giving us 3y squared over 2 times the square root of y cubed minus 4. So that would actually be your derivative right there. So we can effectively say that we have f to the negative first of x prime would be 3y squared over 2 times the square root of y cubed minus 4. Alright, so they want us to substitute in 2 and figure out what the value is. So all we have to do is substitute in 2 for y and evaluate it. So it's pretty straightforward. So we'll plug in a 2. So everywhere we see a y, so add 2, plug in a 2 here, and see what we get. So we know that 2 squared is 4, so 3 times 4 is 12, or 4 times 3 is 12, because multiplication is commutative. So we get 12 up here. And then down here, well, we know that 2 cubed is 8. If I subtract 4 from that, I get 4. Take the square root of 4, I get 2. So I got 2 times 2, which is 4. So we'll get 12 divided by 4, which obviously is just going to be 3. And that's your answer. So your final answer for this problem they wanted us to have f of and our answer here is going to be positive 3. Alright, so hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that wasn't too challenging to get, but again, you can ask me questions about how I arrived at my answers at any time. So that will be your solution. All right, so reach out to me if you got questions. We'll see you next time.